So when we talk this way, then there's a conveyance about the nature of reality more than circuses and stories and all of that. Concepts can't reach your own subjective direct experience. The words and the understanding and all that are yours and yours alone. But because I'm talking about your experience, it works in a very profound way. Whereas I'm talking about a circus, it doesn't. See, I mean, you can check directly, you can look directly, you can notice directly what your own experience is. Now, I'm not claiming. See, when I say this is the nature of yourself, it's not as though I'm saying I can go inside of your head and see what yourself is like over there. I'm I'm from here, from my own self, speaking and saying, you check, see, notice, even in the example I gave, notice that it's your own concept uh, of a circus. Just check. Is it my concept of a circus? Take a look. Notice that. How could it be? Is it not your own thoughts that you're looking at? Is it not your own thinking that you're always in relationship with? One thought with another, with another. So um, that whole that whole thing of mind, if I just say, well, what's aware of all of that? Then you're alone aware of all of that. You are noticing that. You are. So is it really conveyed? That's the thing. In Zen, they always talk about that. Is anything really conveyed? What's really transmitted? It's a bit of an illusion because it's already the case. It's already your situation. Unlike circuses, there's nothing that I'm asking. I'm not really giving you an image. I'm telling you what's aware of the image, right? So there's no changes at all. There's nothing to produce in order for you to get it right. It's just a matter of um, seeing what the nature of the mechanism of perception is.
Hmm.
But let's talk about consciousness because there was something you said where awareness is aware. It's the only thing that's real at some level, right? If we're going to use the word awareness for this, or what were we using before, the something. What was the dash word I was using before? Uh,
Um, awake, always awake, awake
Always
now,
alert. Always
always
alert.
alert.
The always alert. Right. The always alert is not. Um, it's not. The always alert is always alert, regardless of whether there are objects or not.
Right.
So the always alert is not absent when there are objects.
So in that sense, is consciousness does consciousness exist with no object?
The
Because
always alert exists. The always alert is always alert, regardless of whether there are objects or not.
would you say that of consciousness
Well, yeah, if I want to use the word consciousness to instead of the
to
word
mean
always alert, yeah,
right,
you could use the self. You could say, yeah, Buddha nature, whatever.
right,
Yeah.
right? Um, but you don't talk about levels of awareness or always alert. It has no levels. It transcends
All
levels. It interpenetrates all level. Anything you can call a level, well, always alert is still there as it is.
yeah, levels are levels in relation to objects of awareness, or objects of the always
Consciousness.
alert, or what objects. So, or mind. You can say it that way too. Mind. If you
Yeah.
want to use the word mind, um, instead of you could say, because it depends on how you're using these words, right? But you could say they're all levels of mind, or levels of the mind. It's not of consciousness really in that way. or of the always alert, or of awareness, whatever you want to call that, Buddha nature, the self with a capital S. There's no levels to that. That has no levels. All levels, though, arise in that,
Right.
because levels are levels in relation to mind. They're levels because of mind. There are levels because of comparison. There are levels because even look, you know, um, if you take something like to speak again about the nature uh, of always alert. So, and this gets very difficult to say these things from nature of always alert. Okay, always alert is always alert, but it's only always alert now. So now we're redefining the word now by doing that immediately. But sometimes it's called instant. I've read, Buddhists try to use that word, Tibetans, instant consciousness or instant means it's now.
Instant, like this instant.
This, because there's no past,
There's no other instant.
there's no other instant. There's no instant. Other is a concept of mind in instant. You can call it instant. You can call it now if you want. Instant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, how could there be levels? There's just instant. You have to take in something else. You have to use your capacity to create images or thoughts or words and make a picture of some other instant and say, "Oh, let me compare them. This is a higher one than that one." Whatever, levels of consciousness. That's how you do that. But if you are 1,000,000% honest, there's only this moment and there can't be any levels to this moment. Because levels is to bring in thought about something that isn't. And it's filled with all kinds of arrogance, like that what that thought brings in is actually fairly accurate of the last moment. It's like, or of the other moment. Like you don't know that. It's memory. Well, you have to take two instants and put them side by side. Not possible. Put two instants side by side. It's still happening now. There's only this instant. Right? These are all pictures, concepts, mind, comparison, memory, which are all thought constructs. They all only happen now. It's not that you can't have thought constructs for now, because all thought constructs only happen now. So, of course, if there are any thought constructs, they only happen now. Then you get very Buddhist, because then you start saying, well, are there thought constructs? Well, if there's only now, and you're not using mind to, to compare now with any other thought, then you can't even say there's thought constructs, because it's all based in memory of ideas of thoughts. Ideas of thoughts are the see. So as long as you start to say, "Oh, a thought is the thought," then thought itself starts to dissolve into this now. It doesn't mean that that you have to have a silent mind or something. But it's just that what does it mean to be a silent mind? What if you have the thought dog right now, but that's all you have is the thought dog, and no concept about the thought dog? Then is it the thought dog? You have no other concepts about it. Dogs are hairy. Dogs have looked that way or this way. Then what is it, the thought dog? It all just collapses in on itself. And this is the way in which even forms can be transcended in this moment. But that's a kind of nirvikalpa. It's not necessary. All that's necessary is to see that thought is arising, mind is arising, objects are arising. So As soon as you say thought is arising, concept is arising, if that's thoughts, then that's already a bit of a trap. So you see, the language sometimes is it's like snowflakes falling on a lake. When they make contact, they disappear. Like
I'm
seeing
not
through
getting
them,
the analogy.
naming when seen dissolves, labeling when seen dissolves. You see the process of it, and the seeing of the process of it dissolves it.
Yeah.
That color is red. Wait, that color is being labeled red. It's just what it is. You see it just for what it is, with no label. It's dissolved. Then it's not red even. What do you? It's just
And I'm back in the instant. I'm back in the moment. I'm back in.
well, you never were gone. You know, you never left. Really, you look, and how could you say back? You realize, you know, like what happens is the realization of the illusion of leaving. You see, dream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I find myself back in my bed. You were never in your anywhere but your bed. The recognition is that, you know, it's fine colloquial. You say, okay, well, and then the lion was running after me. It was a very cute story um, that Catherine Ingram uh, used to tell, where and she said that she heard a little boy tell it, which really is cute. I don't know, but that he said, imagine, you know, if you're if you're dreaming and you're in a dream and okay, and you're walking through the forest, and as you're walking through the forest, you think you see a lion, and the lion starts to run after you, and then you get scared and you start to run, and you keep running and running, and you're running out of the forest, and then you come and it's a cliff. What do you do? And she said, don't know. The little boy said, I'd wake up. There's nothing to do because it's not happening. It's a dream. You can't. So it's colloquial. You say, "Well, I found myself in my bed," but really, you found yourself in your bed because you were in mind. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to your bed. You weren't back in your bed. You were always in your bed. So yeah, it's the I that keeps it going. It's the I that all the other thoughts hang on. All the stories are about I. I'm doing that, and then I realize this, and I'm not sure if I get that, and I don't know about that, and shall I do this? And if I get that, will I have that? And da da da. So you always have that. There's always that I.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
And
only. That's the
all,
pet.
all, the, all these other things take on a reflection of the reality that I've given to that I. I believe that I.
I have not given anything. You are not. There's no you. I believe that I know. No, no, no.
Busted.
Yes. I give things the I that says I give things, that I isn't. It's just arising. It's an object. That's all. Seeing the object. That's all. No I is seeing the object. The object is seen. This is where all so many of the Zen koans stand.
Mm.
Can you just repeat what you said?
What part? It's a lot. Viv?
The eye is seeing. Is that what you said?
The
Can you hear
eye?
me?
I hear you. I'm not sure what you asked me.
What was the last thing you were talking about with lead? Just that
Which
twist.
part? Which part? I don't know which part you're asking me about.
The the eye the eye is giving us reality to these things. No, the eye is seen as all those things are seen. There is
Okay.
no giving reality to.
There's no I giving reality to anything.
Okay.
The I is an object, just as the other thoughts are objects. That is not seen by I. That is simply seen.
Right.
Simply seen. So the Zen thing, there's a bunch of stories. One is a baby gooseling saw there was somebody left a piece, somebody put a piece of bread inside of a bottle. What a terrible thing to do. And a gooseling was small enough to get into the bottle, and then it went in and ate, and it couldn't get out. And a monk came and saw it there. And so actually, this is a story a Zen master is telling his student this. And he says, a person discovered this goose inside. What was the man to do? If he left the goose, it would die. If he broke the bottle, it would die. Now go meditate on that. And suddenly, when the guy awoke, he just woke up screaming, "The goose is out!" And they bowed to each other, and that was that. Dilemmas in the mind are not solved in the mind. There is no dilemma because the goose is out. So I is the thought, thought, the main thief, the main distraction, the main um, you know, so to speak, imprecisely and poetically, the main source of all our troubles, whatever can. So, but there's no our troubles or any of that because the goose is out, never been in. An eye gets into trouble and wants to solve itself. And oh, if I've created this terrible problem, I am identifying with the wrong things. And if I could put my attention on this and that, and then I can do that, and then I will have been free. And it's like freedom is, always was, the goose is out. How is that? Any sense of I is simply an object, thought. So what do I do with that? That's I do with that, reaching into a future. Oh, thought.
And assuming there's an I to do that needs to be done. That right.
I I thought assumes that something needs to be done
Yes.
and all
Yes.
that. And all of that is it's like it's not, oh, I have to correct that tendency. No, it's just not a thing.
Right.
Like
Right.
there's so much investment in like self-improvement so that you could say I did it. But so I could say I did it again. There's so much investment in that. It's momentum more than investment, really. It's momentum of mind. That's all it is. It's momentum of mind. It's not a momentum of you even, because you are not mind. It's very creative. It's amazing the layers of illusion that a life is. It's like walking into a bar and hearing two or three people who are drinking a bit much having this long conversation, and you're sober and you can tell none of them understands what the other one means really, but they're having a very vigorous and then
Having a great time.
right, they're having a great time. Sometimes they argue, sometimes they're patting each other on the back, yes, and they all walk home, and nothing ever happened. And then you go, how creative is that though? Look at the nature of the drunken mind, of the illusion, because it created warmth in the heart and laughing and wow, and I'm alive and oh, I can't stand that guy, but he's pretty good. And no, man, this is my old friend I know forever and blah 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 blah. Go home, but never really connecting, really understanding each other.
Mhm.
Can you say they didn't understand each other? Yes, and at the same time, what creativity you know, they did some kind of communion somehow. Something happened there.
Mhm.
So this is when you talk about levels of consciousness, we can talk that, and then it's mind. It's a way of describing, like um that there's different levels of understanding. There's all of that. And that's fine. But when we talk about what you're talking about, what you brought in, yeah,
You wrapped it up very well.
very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. My pleasure.